Hello art beaters, Becky here for artbeats.com, and I've got a brand new demo for you today. I'm going to be showing you how to make a beaded bracelet featuring a teacup pinwheel pattern. So this pattern utilizes two different colors of Czech glass teacup beads, and I'll show you what those look like, and then some 2-hole CzechMates diamond beads and two different sizes of Toho round seed beads. So let's dive in and learn how to make some teacup pinwheels. So this is what we're going to be making today. This is the Teacup Pinwheels pattern. Oh, I love it. So it features teacup beads in two different colors. We've got 2-hole CzechMates diamonds in there and Toho seed beads in size 8/0 and 15/0. And these colors, I really am happy with how they turned out. I've got some deep reds in there, olive greens, a little bit of gold and brass. Really nice colors. It kind of reminds me of like grapevines or a winery. Really nice. So that's the example that I already have stitched up. I've got a different colorway in more like peachy pink neutral colors, some nice cream and pink teacups. I love this teacup color here. We've got some nice kind of shiny metallic Toho seed beads. Our small 15/0 seed beads are a nice lavender color that match my nails really well. And then we've got CzechMates diamond and this kind of lustrous pinky gold color. So that's what we'll be working with. And then I'll show you how to finish the piece on my original design first. I do want to mention that we have a really nice PDF pattern for this. This is a Starman TrendSetter's pattern, so you can see the different colorways here. This is a pattern by Zsuzsanna Erdei. We've showed off some of her patterns before, and it has wonderful step-by-step diagrams to show you exactly how to do this, as well as text and a list of supplies. So really easy to follow along. Once you make your first little beaded medallion here, it's the same thing over and over. So it's super easy to get going and go fast on this one. And what I like what Zsuzsanna did here in her example. So there's two different teacup colors that you use for this pattern. She switched up like the placement of the teacup colors on each medallion. You can see she alternated the gold in the center and the blue in the center. So I think I'm going to try that with my pink variation today, because for my wine colored piece, I just did the same colors in the same placement. So I think I'm going to try switching up the colors for each medallion that we do on our pink variation. So let's kind of talk about all of the supplies you'll need. You do need teacup beads in two different colors. Teacup beads, these are Czech glass beads from Starman. I love them. They're quickly becoming a favorite. And they are called teacup beads because they have a little cup shape, like a teacup or a bead cap. And they come in all kinds of wonderful colors. This is a lovely, really pale pink color with an AB finish. So it's a little bit iridescent, super pretty. Hi, Claudia. Good to see you. So really nice colors there. And then I've got another color that's like this champagne cream color. So those are the two teacup colors that I'm working with today. And that one you can really see the shape nicely on that. So those are teacup beads. You'll also need 2-hole CzechMates diamonds. These are diamond-shaped flat beads with 2 holes through the middle. So that's what the CzechMates diamonds look like. I've got that nice lustrous pink color with bits of gold in there, some kind of earthy flecks, really nice. And then I've got 8/0 Toho round seed beads in this shiny metallic pink color. Really pretty. And then 15/0 seed beads, so small, 15/0 round seed beads. These are Tohos again, and I've got those in a nice kind of like lilac, lavender, soft purple color. I've got links to all of the beads that I'm using here today in the video description, as well as the PDF linked there too. And let's see. So I'm using Toho 1G beading thread today. And I'm using a dark color so you can see my thread on screen. Typically what you'll do, 1G comes in all kinds of beautiful colors that you can match to the beads you're using. But today I'm going to be using a dark thread. I also have a size 12 beading needle for bead weaving, some cutters to trim my thread. I also have chain nose pliers here, 2 pairs. That's just for attaching a clasp at the end with jump rings and all of that, but we won't need that until the very end. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut about 3 feet of thread. I like to take my arms and stretch them out, and that's about how long I like to work with thread. I don't like going any much longer than that because it can get kind of tangly and knotted, and that's a good length for this project here. And then I'm just going to add my needle to my thread here. Oh, and I've gotten so good at that, it doesn't take me very many tries, so we're lucky there. All right, so to start this off, I'm going to pick up an 8-aught bead, 8-aught toho, and 5 15-aught seed beads. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then what we're going to do from here is we're going to make a little loop, go back through our first 8-aught seed bead, and I'm going to leave about a 5 to 6 inch tail because we're going to weave that back in at the end. So go back through that 8-aught seed bead. Pulling. So it makes this nice little loop. That's actually where we're going to attach our clasp at the end. And I'm going to go back through all of the beads just to reinforce, give it a little bit more strength. There we go. Yay, Dee, I'm glad you're here. Yeah, we're just getting started. We're making this wonderful beaded pattern called Teacup Pinwheels. It's by Starman TrendSetter Zsuzsanna Erdei, and it combines teacup beads in 2 different colors with the CzechMates diamonds and some toho seed beads. All right, so now our thread is coming out of that 8-aught seed bead. So what we're going to do is we're going to add our first color teacup bead. I'm going to start with this cream color. And you do want to pay attention to how you're adding your beads. The pattern signifies the curved cup shape side as the top and then the domed side as the bottom. You're always going to be stringing from the top. So just keep that in mind as you're adding your teacups. I can make it not a split screen if you would prefer. There we go. Is that better? So we're adding a teacup, and then we're going to add a diamond. Oh, no, I lied. We're adding 2 15-aught seed beads before we add our diamond. So put 15-aught seed beads on there. Yay, I'm so glad that's working better for you. Yeah, these beads can get tiny, so the closest we can get, that is good. So I've added my teacup from the top side or cup side, and I've added 2 15-aught seed beads. Now we're going to add our first diamond bead. And it doesn't really matter which hole you approach. These kind of line up the way you need them to. You don't really have to think about which way you're adding them because they're symmetrical. They're the same on any side. All right, so we've got those added. What we're going to do here is we're actually going to jump. So we're coming out of this hole here. We're going to jump our thread to the next hole on that same diamond. And now we're going to start to add a pattern of teacup beads in our second color and diamonds. So that's an alternating pattern. So we're going to pick up a teacup bead in that second color. We started with the cream color. Our second color is this iridescent pink color. Again, we're picking it up from the top side or the cup side. And then we're going to pick up a diamond. So I've got the teacup in my second color and the diamond. All right, and then we're just going to repeat that pattern until we have 6 teacups. So I've got the second teacup here. I'm picking up another diamond. Third teacup, picking up another diamond. Fourth teacup, picking up another diamond. Fifth teacup, Picking up another diamond. So we have got 6 teacups on there now. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to bring my thread back through that stringing hole that I started from on the first diamond, and it's going to make a little circle. See that? So I've got my teacups and my diamonds in a little circle. Is this in a kit? We don't have a kit for it, but we do have this wonderful PDF. I've got all of the supplies that I'm using here today linked in the video description. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this into a design studio tutorial at artbeads.com. So you'll have the instructions and supplies all right there together. You can add all to cart with that button at the top of the supplies list on the design studio page, and you'll be good to go. So I will be making that after my demo here today. So we've got our beads, our teacups, and our diamonds in a nice little loop. You're welcome. We are going to take our stringing hole. We're coming out of that bottom stringing hole of this first diamonds that we added. We're going to jump back up again to the outer hole, that first stringing hole that we went through. So we're jumping back up, and we're going to add another layer to our teacup pinwheel here. I like to pull, make sure the loop is nice and tight. All right, so from here, now we're going around this way. Need to do more art bead shopping. Yes, the struggle, the eternal struggle. I'm always shopping at art beads. All right, so for this layer, what we're going to do is we're going to add an A-dot seed bead in that wonderful kind of shiny metallic color. And then we're going to add the teacup bead in that original color that we were using, that cream color that we first added. So we've added an A-dot, a cream colored teacup, and then we'll add 2 15-aught seed beads. Let me get one on my needle here. 1, 2. So we've got an A-dot seed bead, that first color teacup, and 2 15-aught seed beads. We're going to go through that top open hole on the next diamond in our little pinwheel here. Just what I need, more beads. Yeah, you can never have too many. There we go. So our pinwheel is taking even more shape. So you're going to repeat that all the way around the pinwheel. So I'm picking up an A-dot bead, a teacup in that cream color. Remember to pick it up from the top side or the cupped side, not the domed side. And then we're going to pick up 2 15-aught seed beads. And then we're going to go through the open hole on the next diamond in the pinwheel. Boop. These colors are really nice. All right, we're picking up another A-dot, another cream colored teacup, and 2 15-aughts. Going through the next open hole of the next diamond in place. Oops. And pull them tight. So our little pinwheel here is taking even more shape. We're going to pick up another A-dot, another cream colored teacup, 2 15-aught seed beads, and we're going to go through the open hole of the next diamond in the wheel. So I've gone around and I'm at my last segment. What we're going to do here, we don't actually need to add more beads here because we kind of set up this segment in our first step, really. You see I've added that A-dot, that teacup, and those 15-aughts in that first step. So what I'm going to do is kind of just go through those to cinch it all up and complete the pinwheel. So for that last segment, you don't need to add more beads. You just go through this A-dot seed bead, which is already in place here, and then go through the teacup and the 15-aught seed beads and cinch it up. got a little tangled with my tail here, so I need to see what's happening. There we go. Yay! All right, our first little pinwheel is looking so good, but we're not done yet. There's just one thing left to do to really get this thing nice and sturdy and looking beautiful. So I'm coming out of those two 50-knot seed beads. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go through that top hole of the diamond and the 8/0 teacup and 2 seed beads again, just to kind of get in place for my next round. And I'm going to do that until I'm like across from my loop here. I'm going to go through those 2 seed beads. So I'm across from my loop and I'm coming out of that 50-knot seed bead. What I'm going to do here, I'm going to jump down to the second stringing hole of that adjacent diamond, the inside stringing hole. There we go. And here's what we're doing now. I'm going to pick up 4 of the 50-knot seed beads. I've got 4 of those. And I'm going to come through just that last 50-knot seed bead in the next little segment over on the outside bead pattern of the pinwheel and pull tight. So that makes kind of just this little nice line of beads between this upper row of beads and the inner pinwheel. And it also gives this piece a little more structure. So from here, I'm going to repeat. I'm going to jump down to that second string hole of the next adjacent diamond. And then I'm going to add 4 seed beads. I've got my 4 seed beads added. I'm going to come through that last 50-knot seed bead in the next beaded segment of the upper row. See how that's making just a cute little, even more of a pinwheel effect? And then we're going to come through, jump down to the second inner stringing hole of the next diamond. There we go. And then we're going to pick up 4 50-knot seed beads. And just go through that last 50-knot seed bead in the top row. Jump down to the second stringing hole of the next diamond. Pick up 4 50-knot seed beads. So you're kind of going diagonally. So you're coming out of that inner hole of the diamond, and then you're going up diagonally and just going through that last 50-knot seed bead up there in the top row. Oops, and I've snagged my tail, but that's an easy fix. So you can see how that's just giving it a really nice shape, highlighting that pinwheel shape even more. Really great addition to this pattern. So we're going to jump down to the second hole of the diamond again. Pick up 4 seed beads, 1, 2, 3, 4. Go through that last 50-knot seed bead in the top beaded row. And we've just got 1 more to go here. So we're going to go down, jump down to the second stringing hole of the next diamond. And you'll feel this too when you're doing this pattern. You'll feel that little pinwheel just start to really feel a little bit more solid, a little more sturdy in its shape. Adding 4 15-aught seed beads. And then skipping through that last 15-aught seed bead. There we go. Really cute. So you can see that cute little pinwheel shape. And so this is the loop for adding your clasp. What I'm going to do is to start the next medallion in this pattern, you go through that adjacent diamond hole, the top stringing hole of the next diamond over right next to the 50-knot seed bead you're coming out of. And then you're going to go through this 8-aught bead, which is directly across from the little loop that we had added in the first place. So that's going to be where we add our clasp once we've made our little teacup pinwheels. So to start the next one, super easy. You're going to add one 15-aught seed bead, one 8-aught seed bead, and one 15-aught seed bead. And then we're going to loop around through that same 8-aught seed bead that we're coming out of. And then I'm going to loop around these beads again, all of them, until I'm coming back out of that second 8-aught bead. And my needle just came off of my thread, so let me fix that. Now that you've got that little connection point, all you do to make the next medallions is just repeat the steps. But I want to play with switching up the teacup colors that I use. So let's start. The first medallion we started with that cream color. I want to start with the pink, the iridescent pink color. So I'm going to pick up one of those and 2 seed beads, and then we'll pick up a diamond. My goodness, yeah, this has been quite the stream, right? And, oops, look at this. I started using my thread on my other piece. Let's take that off. There we go, get that out of the way. And actually put it on the thread we're working with here. Okay, so teacup. Two 50-knot seed beads and a diamond. There's a lot of background noise before. That's weird. Okay, so we've got our teacup, 15-knot, and a diamond, and then we're going to add the second color, which is now the cream color, and a diamond in an alternating pattern until we have 6 teacups. So I've got a teacup and a diamond, teacup and a diamond. Oh wait, first we have to jump. So before you do that, make sure you jump to the second hole of the diamond. Yeah, they are really lightweight. So they would be really cute earrings. If I were to make these into earrings, what I would do, you know how you add those 4 beads to kind of give the pinwheel structure? I would actually go on the back of the piece and add those 4 beads on the back. I think that would give them really nice structure for earrings. No, definitely not too heavy for earrings. All right, so we're coming out of that second hole on that first diamond. Now we're going to add the teacup and the diamond until we have 6. So we've got 3 there. Let's add 3 more. Oops. Come on, little teacup. Got 5. 1 more teacup. And we don't have to add a last diamond because we're going to go back through that original diamond that we added. Okay. So coming back through that same stringing hole in the first diamond to make our little loop. Yay! And now that we've got those looped, and I'm going to make sure that's nice and close, we're going to jump back up to that original stringing hole in the same diamond and add our outer row of beads. I do like the alternating colors of teacups. That's really fun. Okay, so for this row, what we do is we add an 8-aught seed bead, a teacup in that iridescent pink color, and 2 15-aught seed beads and go through that top stringing hole of the next diamond. Oh yeah, the alternating colors are really fun. I think that highlights the different colors really nicely too. I like the alternating colors. That was a really fun thing to showcase in the original PDF pattern, which I do have linked in the video description along with all of the bead colors that I'm using here today. And I've also linked our shopping categories for teacups, diamonds, and the seed bead sizes you need for this pattern. So you can, if you want to do your own color variations, we have lots of colors to choose from on these beads. So that's something you can certainly do. So that would be really fun. All right, next. You can do this. This is a good pattern for making bracelets. We were just discussing that the little medallions by themselves would make really cute earrings. I think even if you did like 3 and then dangled 3 of them as earrings, that would be fun. And they're lightweight enough where you could get away with that. But even just 1 medallion would be super cute as an earring. So there's the original pattern is a bracelet. But I think you could do a lot with this. Earrings, bracelet, maybe even like a little choker necklace. That would be fun. But I always like chokers, so. But they do make really nice bracelets. They would make really cute, somebody said Christmas ornaments too. All kinds of things that you can do with these cute little beaded teacup pinwheels. All right. And this goes by, like once you get this little bead weaving pattern down, it goes by really quick. You can get really in the groove with this. So cute. All right, so we're adding an A-dot, a teacup, and then 2 15-aughts. Oh wait, we're on our last segment. So remember, on your last segment, you don't have to add beads here because we already put them in place in the beginning. So for that last segment, what we're doing is we're going through that A-dot bead that's already in place, and then the teacup and the 2 15-aught beads. And I forget about that all the time until I'm like ready to add beads. So we're going to go through those 15-aught beads and then cinch it all up. There we go. I actually really love the alternating which colors are your first teacup bead colors and which are your second. So for the next medallion I'll use those iridescent pink ones as the center color again. That is so cool. I love that. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to get in position to add my little segment of 4 seed beads. And I like to do that. I like to go through that outer row of beads until I'm across from the connection point. So I'm going to go through one more little segment of the outer row of beads. And now I'm in place to start adding more structure to my pinwheel. So remember, we're coming out of that last 15-aught bead in this segment. We're going to jump down to the second inner hole of that adjacent diamond. Ooh, bicones instead of diamonds. I don't know. Well, you could, yeah. That would be different. You would be going through the same stringing hole because this is a 2-hole bead, that diamond. So you'd have to keep that in mind. But that would look really pretty. If you were going to use bicones, like crystal bicones, I would suggest a thread like Fireline because that holds up a little bit better with crystal. All right, so I've added 4 15-aught seed beads, and I'm going to come through that last 15-aught seed bead on the next segment of beads in my outer row. And it just adds some shape and some structure to our pinwheel shape. So I'm coming out of that last 15-aught seed bead. I'm going to jump down to the inner stringing hole of the adjacent diamond. And then add 4 seed beads. Come up through that last 15-aught seed bead in the next segment of the outer beaded row, and then jump down to the second stringing hole of the next diamond, and just repeat that all the way around to finish this medallion. And then do the same steps for the next medallion. It's a really simple pattern once you get the hang of it. Once you do a medallion once or twice, you're really gonna get the feel for it and just start whipping these out. And because we have so many colors to choose from, it's really fun picking like different color variations. I picked out like 3 or 4 different color variations and finally settled on the wine colored piece that I did originally, and then this fun pinky purple one, which I love these colors. They're so sweet and delicate. So I've added my 4 15-aughts, and then we're going to go through that last 15-aught in our outer beaded row. And then I just have a couple more to go, and then I'll show you how to, once you've added all the medallions you want to add, how to finish it up and add a clasp. And then we will have made a beautiful bracelet here. 4 15-aughts. Let's get that one in. There we go. Jump down. Yeah, I was thinking that too, Vicky. It might be cute to also have a second color of seed beads to use for alternating. 1, 2, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, you could totally play with the seed bead colors as well. We're just using one seed bead color for each size, but you could have a second color for each and kind of play with that too. That would be fun. Super, super cute. All right, so we are ready to go, and then we would just add another medallion and keep going with that. So for my original piece here, and I think on the examples in the PDF pattern, I made 7 of these medallions, and that is going to fit my wrist quite perfectly once I add the clasp. If you need to add more, super easy to do because you know how to make those little pinwheels. So let's say we've just finished up our last medallion. I'm coming out of that last seed bead. So what you're going to do here is you're going to make a loop like you did at the start of your pattern. So I'm going to pick up 5 15-aught seed beads. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I'm going to loop around that same 8-aught seed bead and pull tight. And we've got a nice little loop. If you want to make your loop bigger, you can just add more of those 15-aught seed beads. And I'm going to go back through all of those seed beads. And you can do that a couple times to reinforce your loop, which is very important. You want to make sure it's nice and strong because that is your connection point. That's where you're going to be adding the clasp, taking your bracelet on and off. It's going to be something that gets moved around a bit. So you do want to make sure it's nice and strong. And my thread, I notice when I go, like I try and go fast, my needle comes off my thread more. So that happens to me sometimes. I'm sure it happens to you guys too. All right, where was I? There I am, I think. Oh, that's the tail. There we are. Okay. So just reinforce through your little loop a couple times. Make sure it's nice and sturdy and strong. And then what you would do is weave your thread back into all these beads, maybe knot in a couple places, hide the thread in a bead and trim. And then all you have to do on your little loops on each end of your bracelet is add a clasp with some jump rings. You can also, if you don't want to make more beaded medallions, you could use jump rings to extend the length of your bracelet. If it's just a little small if it's just a little small and you don't necessarily need to make a whole nother medallion, you can just link jump rings together until you have the length you need. So I've got my chain nose pliers here. I'm going to open a jump ring, and I'm actually going to use 2 jump rings for my toggle bar. So I've got that jump ring in place, and then I'm going to open this one up a little and attach it to my loop on one end of the bracelet. Come on. And this is where things get a little finicky.
There we go. So I've got that attached, and I'm going to just close that. And then attach my bar. Close the jump ring. And you've got a clasp attached. And then you would just do that same technique on the other end with your loop component. You can use one jump ring for this side or two depending on your needs.
Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that this video was inspiring and helpful. Make sure to leave a like and a comment. Let me know what you'd like to see next, or if you have any questions. We always love hearing from you. And as always, make sure to subscribe and hit that bell for notifications so you're the first to know when videos like this are out. Thank you again so much, and I will see you next time. Bye.